From Studio 2A in Pix Plaza, this is the Pix 11 News with Tamsin Fidel and Corey Chambers.
Good morning.
It is a weekend of outrage after President Donald Trump's executive order banning people from certain Muslim majority countries. And that is why we thank you for being here for this Pix 11 News special, Unrest in America. I'm Tamsin Fidel.
And I'm Corey Chambers. Tonight, President Trump is defending his travel ban, saying it is not a Muslim ban. Instead, he says it's about keeping our country safe.
Yeah, but try telling that to tens of thousands of protesters and the dozens of people who've been detained at airports. Some of them have been sent home to countries that for now are apparently not safe in the eyes of the White House.
Yeah, here's what we know right now. People from 7 predominantly Muslim nations are being banned from entering the U.S. for 3 months. These are countries that the president says pose a terroristic threat to America. People fleeing from Syria are banned indefinitely.
Noticeably absent from that list, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Saudi Arabia. Currently, Afghanistan has 20 terrorist organizations operating within its borders, including ISIS and al-Qaeda. Pakistan is where Osama bin Laden lived safely for years before he was killed. And Saudi Arabia is where 15 of the 19 9/11 hijackers came from.
In the first 48 hours, at least 109 people have been detained at America's airports and denied entry. Some have been granted special waivers to finally enter. But the other part of the story are these mass protests happening all weekend long in New York, New Jersey, and across the country. We've seen hordes of people turn out at airports and masses marching through Lower Manhattan.
Yeah, so many people impacted by this executive order, so many emotional stories and so many questions tonight. We're covering all the angles with our team of reporters. Pix 11's Narmeen Chaudhary and Dan Manarino both have really incredible stories to tell you tonight.
But let's begin with Pix 11's Jay Dow with the story of a Syrian family who found a new life right here in New York City 1 year ago.
Oh my God, Becky, look at her.
And now, I like big trucks and I cannot lie.
President Trump getting behind the wheel of a big rig today at the White House. Doing his best Smokey and the Bandit, the president hopped in the cab of a semi during an event for truckers. Trump also getting in the spirit with that button on his lapel, I heart trucks. The commander-in-chief loves his big machines. Just a month ago, Trump started a love affair with Air Force One, despite its ripe old age.
That plane, as beautiful as it looks, is 30 years old. Can you believe it? What can look so beautiful at 30?
But if only for today, the president's passion rolls on 18 wheels.
He's bound and down, loaded up and trucking.
This has been I Like Big Trucks and I Cannot Lie. We'll be right back.
Way to go, and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just watch no bandit run.
You know what that means. It is our continuing
nightmares
yeah,
tonight.
right? It's a creepy coverage of the Circus of Fear on the Pix 11 News at 10. There's really no big top. There's no ringmaster, not a regular circus, but the clowns are here. Thanks for staying with us on this Friday night. I'm Tamsin Fidel.
I'm Corey Chambers here for John, and this is no joke. Evil circus freaks have been now spotted in New York and New Jersey. They're making tracks in their floppy red shoes from the south to the northeast. Yes, the clown sightings starting in look at the tracks, starting in South Carolina with reports. Oh my, I mean, the thing is, this sounds so ridiculous, but the fact this is happening, it's kind of frightening and it is troubling.
Yeah, really, it's really no joke. New tonight, 3 Long Island schools have been threatened by clowns, and cops are on alert after a reported trio of clowns chasing a kid down in a New Jersey street with a sword. So it's getting really serious. There's been a bank robbery by a clown and clowns peering over fences. I mean, it's not like you hear the word
clowns.
Clown, you think it's funny, but it's just really not.
Clowns are supposed to bring joy and laughter.
Not in this case.
Okay, so what's driving this situation? Ayanna, I mean, seriously, I'm trying to understand this. Is this a prank? What's going on?
Well, they really are faces of fear rolling down the highway. A black car filled with creepy clowns pulled over in New Jersey after harassing drivers on the road. Thanks for being with us for the Pix 11 News at 10 tonight. I'm Tamsin Fidel.
I'm John Muller. It is true. The circus of fear driving through Fair Lawn today. Cops were having none of it. Listen to this. 4 people inside a vehicle, 2 of them wearing those murderous-looking masks, hanging out the windows, screaming at other drivers. The clowns almost caused another driver to actually crash.
Yeah, in other words, a nightmare rolls on. Pix 11's McGee Hickey has a story in Fairlawn tonight. Full details of this clown crisis.
And now, a troublemaker on the train.
Long before he won the White House and even before he became a billionaire business mogul, Donald Trump was a regular old New Yorker.
I'm walking here. I'm walking here.
In fact, he even used to ride the subway, just not carefully. In a new interview with the New York Times, the president admits he used to ride between the cars while taking the F train. Yeah, our commander-in-chief was a teenage thrill seeker. But just because the president did it, that doesn't mean you should. The NYPD Transit Bureau tweeting a reply to POTUS. Please don't ride between the subway cars.
This has been a troublemaker on the train. We'll be right back.
I'm running for president.
I am officially running.
I opted to use my personal email account.
For a total and complete shutdown of Muslims.
I have been racking my brain about what more could have been done.
The one person that will stand up for himself.
So I think it's time to end the very artful smear.
He referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem.
I accept your nomination.
For the presidency of the United States.
We need to guarantee equal pay for women's work.
We have to let them do their job. They do an unbelievable job.
You could put half of Trump's supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables.
That's a lot of bull. I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
And you know what else I prepared for? I prepared to be president.
The one thing you have over me is experience, but it's bad experience.
They were extremely careless in their handling of very sensitive, highly classified information.
You can do anything. Whatever you want. Grab him by the I can do anything. This was locker room talk. I'm not proud of it.
Let's make history together.
Make America great again.
History, it is happening right now. Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump. With the White House on the line, the first woman ever to be a major party's nominee for president, and the billionaire businessman who has never held elected office. And no matter who wins tonight, there's going to be a New Yorker in the White House come January the 20th. So this is what most polls look like heading into Election Day. Hillary Clinton leading Donald Trump by about 2 to 4 points in all the major polls. This one in particular is from the Washington Post, 47 to 43%.
Those states, they were her insurance policy, basically. If she kept those states, she was going to essentially be in it and she could keep Donald Trump from the presidency. If those fall, well, the game could be very close to over for Hillary Clinton tonight.
This is unprecedented. John Podesta, their Clinton campaign spokesman, saying go home, get some sleep. Your voices, your enthusiasm is heard. She's not done yet. That kind of woke us up, right? This has been a late night.
An election
I think the whole studio kind of woke up with that.
Abrupt a statement from Podesta that she wasn't conceding. What are your thoughts overall?
It's been a shocking evening all round. I mean, I think everyone's very
devastated,
sad and disappointed.
But maybe she needs to concede.
The crowd here reacting finally to the fact that Donald Trump is the president-elect of the United States.
He will be declared 45th president of the United States, according to those electoral votes.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business.
And now, that's so Putin.
Russian President Vladimir Putin may have just out-Putined himself with his latest vacation snapshots.
Once again, he's shirtless in the great outdoors. The Kremlin just released these new photos and videos of Putin's latest excursion. He spearfished, mushroom-picked, and sunbathed across southern Siberia. And if you're wondering just how cold that water is, it's a very chilly 60 degrees. But it's apparently never too cold for that shirt to come off.
And this has been That's So Putin. We'll be right back.
Everybody is on.
Okay, he's not exactly the first guy you think of when you want to have a drink, but tomorrow in New York, D.C., and all across the nation, a lot of people plan on hitting the bar when fired FBI director James Comey testifies before the Senate Intelligence Committee. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Tamsin Fidel.
I'm Corey Chambers in for John tonight. Really interesting story. The eyes of the world on James Comey tomorrow, and apparently that's driving some people to drink because the bars are opening early when America's former top lawman testifies at 10 a.m.
And now, Bye Felicia with Jerry Seinfeld and Kesha.
Because people are tired most of the time.
I love you so much.
Oh, thanks.
Can I give you a hug?
No, thanks.
No touching! No touching! No touching! No touching!
Jerry Seinfeld wants nothing to do with your hug.
I love you so much.
Oh, thanks.
Can I give you a hug?
No, thanks.
Please?
No, thanks.
A little one.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Oh.
Bye, Felicia.
The comedian throwing a stone-cold rejection at an adoring fan who wanted a hug at a charity event.
I am getting off the KISS program with her.
Of course, Jerry isn't exactly known for getting physical with platonic friends and fans.
I mean, if you could say touch a breast as part of the KISS hello, then I think I could see the value in it a little better.
But maybe the best part of this epic brush-off is the fact that Seinfeld didn't even know who he was shooting down.
I don't know who that was.
Yeah, that's Kesha.
Sorry, Kesha, but Jerry Seinfeld still wants nothing to do with your hug.
Yeah, that's Kesha.
Okay, well, I wish her the best.
Bye, Felicia.
This has been Bye Felicia with Jerry Seinfeld and Kesha. We'll be right back.
You know, the first 100 days of any presidency has become a benchmark of success. In fact, these first few months are typically the easiest for a president to push through his agenda. So on day 99, the question is, how's it going?
So help me God. So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. President. Honestly, it looked like 1.5 million people.
This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period.
Sean Spicer, our press secretary, gave alternative facts.
Keystone Pipeline. Dakota Access Pipeline.
Today, the Predator-in-Chief issued executive orders.
I'm establishing new vetting to keep radical Islamic terrorists out of the United States. We don't want them here.
Tonight, President Trump is defending his travel ban, saying it is not a Muslim ban.
But try telling that to tens of thousands of protesters and the dozens of people who have been detained at airports.
Justice!
Today, I am keeping another promise to the American people by nominating Judge Neil Gorsuch. So was that a surprise? Was it? The ratings went right down the tubes, and I want to just pray for Arnold if we can.
A federal judge has temporarily put a stop to President Donald Trump's travel ban on immigrants.
Is this ruling a big deal? Yes. Is this ruling nationwide? Yes.
President Trump tweeting his outrage, blasting the opinion of, quote, this so-called judge.
Go buy Ivanka's stuff is what I would tell you. I hate shopping. I'm going to go get some on myself today.
And don't even get me started on her shoes, because these babies are real head-turner.
The Trump administration, they are dealing with their biggest scandal yet. General Flynn is out.
Flynn resigned last night, but he was in national security meetings as recently as yesterday.
I inherited a mess. I'm not ranting and raving. I'm just telling you, you're dishonest people. This administration is running like a fine-tuned machine. We are fighting the fake news. It's fake, phony, fake. The fake news, the enemy of the people, and they are.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
We are blessed to be joined tonight by Corinne Owens, the widow of U.S. Navy Special Operator William Ryan Owens.
I never had meetings with Russian operatives or Russian intermediaries about the Trump campaign.
Trump accusing his predecessor of spying on him, tweeting early this morning, "Terrible. Just found out that Obama had my wires tapped in Trump Tower. This is McCarthyism."
This is the closest we will ever get to repealing and replacing Obamacare.
The FBI, as part of our counterintelligence mission, is investigating the Russian government's efforts to interfere in the 2016 presidential election and whether there was any coordination between the campaign and Russia's efforts.
President Trump getting behind the wheel of a big rig today at the White House.
We came really close today, but we came up short. I spoke to the president just a little while ago, and I told him that the best thing I think to do is to pull this bill, and he agreed with that decision.
The losers are Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer because now they own Obamacare. They own it. 100% own it.
Ivanka Trump now works for the White House. President Trump's eldest daughter will officially serve as an informal advisor to her father. President Trump's son-in-law is in Iraq tonight, meeting with the top U.S. military officials, along with the Prime Minister of Iraq.
Steve Bannon has been removed from his role on the National Security Council.
Tonight I ordered a targeted military strike. I call on all civilized nations to join us in seeking to end the slaughter. And we had the most beautiful piece of chocolate cake that you've ever seen.
I, Neil M. Gorsuch. And I got it done in the first 100 days. That's even nice.
Someone as despicable as Hitler, who didn't even sink to using chemical weapons. For that, I apologize. It was a mistake to do that.
This is what it looked like when the mother of all bombs exploded in Afghanistan. The mother of all bombs is the largest non-nuclear bomb the U.S. has ever used.
Do you want to see it tested?
He is still under audit. The statement still stands.
And now he's criticizing the benchmark he set for himself. The president tweeting this morning, "No matter how much I accomplish during this ridiculous standard of the first 100 days, media will kill."
The wall's going to get built, folks. Just in case anybody has any question, the wall's going to get built.
The White House is covering up for Michael Flynn. There is a paper trail that the White House does not want our committee to follow.
This is more work than in my previous life. I thought it would be easier. This is actually more work.
And hats off to Pix 11 editor Dave Scanlon and producer Zach Smith for putting all those clips together. Before I go, I want to just take a look at President Trump's first 100 days by the numbers. He has issued 30 executive orders. That's more than any president in 72 years, dating back to Truman. Nearly 55,000 legal immigrants have been deported. That's actually down from this time 1 year ago during the Obama administration. Now, the president has taken 8 trips to his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida. He's played at least 19 rounds of golf at his Trump country clubs, and he's tweeted 490 times since taking the oath of office in January. And by the way, one more note for you. Saturday Night Live has recorded its highest ratings in 6 years, despite being called not funny, a hit job, and really bad television by President Trump. So there, guys, is 99 days. We'll see what's ahead for the next 1,300 or 2,800 if there are 2 Trump terms. I'm Corey Chambers now. Back to you.
Mooch.
The Mooch.
The Mooch. 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 The Mooch. What I don't like about Washington is people do not let you know how they feel.
I love the president. I think he's got some of the best political instincts in the world, but I love the president. I love the president. I love the president. I love the president.
They're very nice to your face, and then they take a shiv or a machete and they stab it in your back. I'm a Wall Street guy, and I'm more of a front stabbing person.
The Mooch! Hey, it's the Mooch!
I'm getting so subtle and surgical in terms of the way I talk.
You're as subtle as a heart attack.
I am not Steve Bannon. I'm not trying to suck my own bleep.
I'm not trying to build my own brand off the bleeping strength of the president. I'm here to serve the country.
Now we're talking. I mean, look at this guy. He's a human pinky ring.
From the Italian expression, the fish stinks from the head down. But I can tell you two fish that don't stink, okay? And that's me and the president.
The president certainly felt that Anthony's comments were inappropriate for a person in that position.
Thank you.
Thank you.